Welcome to Church Farm School this morning. I'm Ned Sherrill, I'm the head of the school, and it is my honor and privilege to be here with you this morning in service to this unique and important mission. The work we do here at Church Farm School is a gift to those of us who live and work here with the scholars, my colleagues, the men and women who make up the faculty and staff. And I want to start our ceremony this morning by saluting them. It's their good work over the last year and a half, I'm going to use the P word, pandemic, that has really sort of prevented us in so many ways from doing the things that we do well on a daily basis under more normal conditions. So thank you, first and foremost, for being vaccinated. Secondly, for wearing your mask. As a residential school, keeping everybody safe is our first concern. And your cooperation, your understanding, your diligence to help us not only here on campus, but as you travel home and take your sons home with you for the weekend, if those of you are planning to do that, or a little more locally to a hotel and doing that. Again, to follow these simple rules of hand washing, mask wearing, just being safe is something that's going to sort of protect our school community as we live and work together on this beautiful campus, which we're here to celebrate this morning. And I want to start by thanking Mr. Burns, Matt Burns, who is here, who is representing as the chair of the board of directors, and saluting not only his work and the current board's work, but those of other generations who have brought us closer to this morning. To Mr. David Zimmerman, who is the president of the Alumni Council, who's here. David, thank you and your brothers of the alumni body for your witness to all the goodness that you received as students and now are giving back as members of the alumni body. We'll share some of that effort a little while later in the program. And I know that Angela Torres is probably not able to be with us this morning. Another child is having another event at her school, but she is the president of the Parents Association. And Mr. Mahi is here, also serves as board member of the Parent Association. And we're grateful for all the work that parents are doing to stay in touch and communicate with us across this current school year and into the future. And a special welcome to all parents, guardians, caregivers of these young men, our Griffin brothers, our young scholars. Your presence here brings beauty and grace and color to our community. And this is everything about what we're about, learning from one another, living with one another, lifting each other to higher places together. Your treasure is your son, this young man in our midst. We know that, and it is our privilege to be your partner in raising them into the opportunities that still await them as they grow as young people. It is awesome work, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We hope that you are all enjoying your time with advisors and teachers, all the good things that these young men are doing to make the most of every day, of every opportunity. And again, as I said, our colleagues are devoted to that task of presenting them that challenge. We're just closing Hispanic Heritage Month, and I know that if I cite Roberto Clemente, I was a baseball player, so I love talking about baseball players. But Roberto Clemente, of course, is much more than just a figure of baseball. As a humanitarian, as somebody devoted to other people around the world. And he said, if you have an opportunity to make things better and you don't, then you're wasting your time on this earth. That sense of urgency, that sense of agency, that sense of purpose is something we share on this campus. Not wanting to waste a moment, but that every young man has in front of him choices to make about where he is going and what he is doing. And the programs set on this campus within these buildings, these walls that have been provided for that opportunity to take shape, is now in their hands. And I hope that you're hearing wonderful things about what they're doing and how they are making the choices that provide them that future that they aspire to have and to fulfill the dreams that are on their hearts and their minds. Student success remains our lofty goal. And it's a goal that every educational institution certainly warrants and serves, but ours is a special vision. And our profile of a CFS graduate, I hope, is something that you've heard about this morning and will hear about in conferences, but that also is part of our core values of integrity, respect, responsibility, and of course brotherhood, that word for community. Our goal is not to serve ourselves alone, but the greater good in our country, in our world, and certainly with ourselves as members of this great community. So this is what today intends to celebrate, and we're deeply honored by the presence of a number of special guests who have joined us this morning, who have made an investment in this mission, who've made an investment in these young men. It's not just a simple gift. It's not just a simple donation. The investor knows that her investment should return something of value. That's why we invest. And that's not to put pressure on our young scholars, but to say that you are worthy of that investment. And what you are doing will return that threefold, tenfold, 100-fold by what you have to offer out of yourselves to one another and to your world. That's awesome, and it's a wonderful thing to celebrate. And so that distinction of gift giving leads me to acknowledging a few people who have done a great deal to help lead the way. And I want to start with Carol and Khaki Buck Rogers and her family, the Buck family, Peter Hamilton and the Hamilton family, and posthumously, but also certainly very much here in spirit, Gina Bissell, a wonderful servant of the school, and somebody that I would often take a couple of scholars with me to have some pizza. We'd sneak her out into a restaurant and have pizza together. And the Student Center is named in her honor and the gift and legacy that she has left the school. And lastly, to Stacy Schreiner-Clay and Alex Schreiner-McKee and their husbands, Bill and Jim, for being here to honor the wonderful legacy of this enormous family whose imprint continues to serve us today. And where God gives us a vision of what can be done, we're given the ability to do it. And so it's a special privilege to honor that vision, that legacy, in a new driveway called Schreiner Way, forever blessing the school on a daily basis as we come in and out on this beautiful campus. So a special welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. And Joe, I'm going to say a word about you in a little while, but it's also grateful to have you here with us